All right, welcome to another episode of Specrapular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit, and I am one of your hosts, Brandon. And of course, I am joined by my best friend, and it's his birthday weekend. Mike's birthday. His name is Mike. He could also be called Miguel, but his birthday is May 12th. Anyway, so in this episode,
That's my favorite moment we've ever had in the show ever.
We are reviewing the movie Hell or High Water. And Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this?
Hell or High Water from 2016, directed by David Mackenzie, written by Taylor Sheridan, who I think he's done half the fucking movies we've reviewed.
A quarter, I would say a quarter of them, yeah. I would say so.
So anyway, so a divorced father and his ex-con older brother resort to a desperate scheme in order to save their family's ranch in West Texas.
West Texas.
West Texas.
Where everybody has a gun in their truck and they have T-bone steaks only with their potatoes.
I say that's racist, but Texas isn't a race, so fuck them.
Yeah, they could suck a dick. With their cheaper living and their oil and their only meat diet.
Fucking super hot temperatures. And So it's funny.
Everybody looks sweaty in this fucking movie. Like I couldn't handle it. Like they just look dirty.
All sweat stains.
Yeah.
Well, it's dusty. It's west.
Yeah. And gross. And what were you going to say?
Texas makes me angry.
Why?
Well, so I was talking to my
because the Alamo? Is it the Alamo?
It's because the Alamo.
Yeah, they couldn't hold it down. Fucking quitters.
Yeah. Well, no, so I have family in El Paso. El Paso.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, man, fuck, dude, you can get there like 11 hours, bro. It's easy, driving-wise.
Yeah, no big deal.
My mom doesn't want to drive to there because I'm like, it's 2 shifts, you're there. But then to get to like the rest of Texas, it's fucking 12 hours to get across Texas too. Like it's the whole length of the trip. Like it's so fucking big. Stop being big, Texas, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you can just cut you in half, and one side will have Austin, and the other side will have, I don't know, Texas geography. The other side has San Antonio.
I think San Antonio's near Austin, and then
Houston and Dallas.
Houston. That's how you're supposed to say it. That's by
Houston
by the water, I believe.
Sure. Well, yeah, that would make sense because with the hurricane,
Dallas
like they were underwater in Houston. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
1901, I think.
No, there was the hurricane like a couple years ago.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought about the one that killed like 8,000 people in Galveston.
So yeah, I get it. You know more stuff than I do. So Hell or High Water, though. So again, everybody looking all sweaty.
Yeah.
Even Chris Pine looking sweaty. He still looked pretty fucking good.
Sweatily handsome.
Right.
Yep.
The fucking opening scene in the bank, you can clearly see his blue eyes through that beanie that he pulled down.
When they interview the teller, do they talk about because the synopsis said scheme, right?
Actually, who else is in this movie? Let's go about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, we just said scheme, sorry.
Yeah.
But they're bank robbing. They're robbing banks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a very interesting scheme that they come up with. We'll talk about that.
They're just taking a small bit. Okay.
So Chris Pine is Toby. Howard, Ben Foster, that's his brother. So that's Tanner Howard. Jeff Bridges and Gil Birmingham, those are Marcus and Alberto. They're the marshals?
I think so. I think they're marshals.
And then
because they had the star with the I think that's
it could be Rangers.
That could be true too. I think they did say Rangers actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, FBI, it's not enough dollar amount to give them the case. So we gave it to you guys.
Yeah. If they wanted it.
Yeah. Katie Mixon, she's the waitress.
I love her.
Yeah, she's in a lot of shit. And then Marin Ireland, she plays his ex-wife. Yeah. She's a fucking bummer. Like,
I recognized her when they first did the scene with her, and I was like, where else do I know her from? Forgetting that she was also in
something depressing because she seems depressed as fuck.
Pretty much. But the waitress, though, I've always liked her.
Yeah.
If I heard her voice, I know her. I don't know her name. You just said it. I know. I already forgot it. But I like her. Katie.
But she spells it like Lindsay Lohan in
K-A-T-Y. K-A-T-Y? Yeah. Caddy.
Oh, no, she's a C-A-T-Y. That's why they call her Caddy. Huh.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I fucked that up.
Yeah, thanks for trying.
Well, that's the end of the show. One mistake.
That's all we can do. Yeah, and usually it's me making the mistakes because I'll say things like cripple and handicap. because I'm a fuckface. So the music in this movie, the very opening song, I thought, am I watching Westworld? Because it was playing like a violin and a piano, and it sounded like the Westworld theme. And I didn't care enough because I forgot to look up who did the score.
Oh, it's fuck, no, I forgot.
Okay, good.
He does the red white hand. Oh, you're gonna make me fucking look it up.
You can if you want to, but also this movie made me want to watch Wind River. Not that it was a bummer, but just because
Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds.
Okay, thanks.
Crazy looking guy, he has the black hair, he has a big widow speak. You know him if you saw him.
Okay, but because the partner, the ranger partner, was in Wind River. He was like the father of the girl.
Yeah.
And so it just made me want to watch that.
Well, I mean, they're all in that. It's probably a term that they don't like because somebody probably wrote it and that's what they call it. But like that neo-Western is what they're calling them.
Okay.
So it's all these. Started with No Country for Old Men, fucking There Will Be Blood, all Taylor's movies, Wind River, Yellowstone. He created Yellowstone, the TV show. So they're all in that universe. So I think Gil's just Taylor's dude. So he's just going to be in everything that he does.
Mm-hmm.
So.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Pine, though. Just back to him really quick. Besides him being
all
handsome.
the handsomeness? So mostly what I want to talk about.
Okay, good.
Well, the one thing that gets me angry is when they're at the hotel and like Ben puts on his slimy charm. Mm-hmm. I was like, you're gonna go with this dude when you got fucking baby blue eyes right here?
Was he fucking the waitress or the hostess lady, or is he banging somebody else?
Yeah, that's the girl.
Okay, because also, what the fuck? I'm not gonna bang a bitch with like my best friend or like my brother in the same room. I get it. Like,
I think it's like a college thing, you know, like your roommates. Like,
I get
you
it.
Turn your back.
That's not. I mean, I'm
jerk
not.
Off or the yeah.
Hey man, if you hear some kind of like fapping noise, like just don't look, okay? But he was definitely putting on that charm. But again, you got old blue eyes right there. So the question is though.
Like the dark, smoky, mysterious guy. Mm-hmm. Like, what's wrong, baby?
But Ben Foster...
You wouldn't understand.
Get away from me. Get away from me. You don't get it. So, I think we discussed this a while ago. So, what's your favorite Chris? Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Hemsworth. Mm-hmm. Hemsworth, I'm sorry. I said Hemsworth. Chris Pine, or the unfortunate Chris Pratt. I no matter what, I did choose Chris Hemsworth. Because I think he's funny and good looking and he has the light eyes. But looking at Chris Pine, though, like, he is a charming motherfucking dude.
I don't know. Like, there's those, like, YouTube videos where it's, like, celebrities flirting with each other and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And there's videos of Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, like, when they're doing the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And she's just staring at him. I'm like, yeah, I feel you, girl.
Yeah. Yo, word.
Word, girl.
Up. Yeah, I get that. I feel you.
I mean, they're all cool in their own way, I guess. Except...
Pick one. Gun to your head. Who's your go-to Chris?
You picked Hemsworth?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Pine.
Okay.
Because he seems silly.
He is. Yeah. He has a good sense of humor, it seems like. Yeah. And he has a good voice. Again, those light blue eyes.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm. He does those BMW commercials.
Oh, you mean like voiceover? I thought you meant you heard him singing.
Oh, no. But didn't he sing something?
Are you trying to make me swoon, bro? Like,
I don't have to try to make you because you already seem like you are. But... if you can find the tree, why did I write that? Oh yeah, when Jeff Bridges first goes.
You just saw Shawshank. You're thinking.
Yeah, actually, to talk about Shawshank really quick, I was at Taco Bell the other day, and I made my order, and the guy's like, "Oh, what's your name for the order?" And I was literally about to say, "He's like, I'm gonna call you Andy, like Andy Dufresne from Shawshank." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, you look like a good guy, like Andy Dufresne, and he didn't do anything wrong." And I'm like,
is this real life?
Yeah. And I was like, okay. He's like, have you seen Shawshank and everything? You look a little too young to see Shawshank. I'm like, anytime Shawshank's on TV, I'll leave it on. And the guy's like, did you like the ending of that movie? I was like, I don't think Andy should have had Morgan Freeman go to that fucking tree and then meet him in Mexico. I think he should have just been like, hey, meet me in fucking Mexico. Because if he's going at it,
how's he supposed to get the message to him?
Well, he could have told him before he left the prison, before he broke out.
Yeah, but it's moving and cinematic and it's supposed to be a little...
I get it. And Stephen King, sure, you did it. You executed it perfectly fine. I'm just saying that wasted that motherfucker's time to go here under the tree, find the rock, open the tin, there's a little bit of cash in there, and here's where I'm going to be. And then he goes to Mexico.
But he has to go, do you remember the name of the town, right? Say what to know. Like he has to remember it.
What if he started getting dementia while he's still in prison after Andy broke out? Then he'd never find him. Anyway, the guy really did that. And I fucking love Taco Bell. If they still have the nacho fries, I'm like... give me those.
I don't love them that much.
You gotta eat them fresh. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And today's sponsor is Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. And if you guys didn't know, it's a limited time offer to get the nacho fries. So please get them while you can. And also try the double decker taco. It's a good.
Enter promo code. It's the crap.
enter promo code at checkout bonkers and
enter promo code Dufresne Check out.
Well, yeah, you have to know how to spell Dufresne. Good luck how to spell that. If you
There's
spell
a
it
fucking
wrong,
F in there, right?
I don't fucking know.
Dufries. Looks like Dufries, I think.
Well, going back to my thing about if you can find the trees, when the guy was like, "Hey, what happened here?" And then Jeff Bridges was giving him the card, like, "Oh, some guys held this place up," and he's like, "Oh, I'll fucking shoot him and hang him myself." He's like, "Oh, you don't want to do that, you know. You got me." He's like, "If you can find the tree," I was like, "God damn, these Texans don't fuck around." Fucking, they're very proud people.
Yeah.
Like, chill out a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. Like, your state is very well known to not only have guns, because you won't take them from them Texans, but also, y'all motherfuckers like that meat. And just from what I hear, I don't want to get into Texans. Yeah. So, tweakers be tweaking.
Hell yeah.
I did like that line, tweakers tweak. And I didn't know her name. I didn't look it up, but I put a waitress from Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
But she's been in many things. She was in American Mom, I think. On ABC, it was canceled, but it was actually quite, it had Diedrich Hader in there, and I thought it was great. I thought it was funny.
Isn't it Bader?
Is it Diedrich Bader? I thought it was.
I forget.
Diedrich. I don't know, but he's funny.
Baker.
Either way, I like everybody that's in that show. It was very well written. Just like The Mayor, it just got canceled with Ted Danson.
Okay.
That show was actually quite funny. But so was Keenan and something else. Keenan was actually quite funny, but I didn't see that.
You're saying all these. I don't watch any of these.
You watch shit like Chicago Fire
and
Chicago Police.
I don't watch that one. For some reason, I only watched 2 out of the 3, which I don't know why. But okay.
Like, you watch that kind of shit, but you won't watch.
Those are the only shows that I watch.
Don't you watch? There's another show I thought you watched, like it was like a drama. Was it the one with the 3 stories of the guy? Like, he has 3 different versions of him. Like, one he's a cop, and then there's a musician. And, okay, whatever, fuck it. So,
although I did start watching The Offer, the Godfather show. It's about the making of The Godfather. And it doesn't matter.
Okay, thanks.
This isn't fucking spectacular TV hour.
No, it's not. So, what did you think of this movie?
I enjoyed it.
I know you've seen it prior. I had not seen it prior.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh?
You ruined it for me years ago. I don't mean ruined. I wasn't going to see it, but like, you had told me that Ben Foster, spoiler alert, is killed. He helps the brother get away by.
Why would I have told you that?
Because I told you I wasn't going to see it.
All right.
Like, I nothing against the movie. I just knew I wasn't going to see it. But yeah, you had told me. But Ben Foster, to me, looks younger than Chris Pine.
In real life?
Yeah, like in the movie. Like, he kept referring to him as young brother, but like Chris Pine has more defined lines on him and stuff like that. So to me, he looks a little bit older. But Ben Foster, he had all the good lines in this movie. Yeah. He was silly, but also kind of nuts. Yeah. But
I mean, he straight up assaults the prostitute.
Oh yeah. Well, was he like?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so. That's what I thought. I thought because like so it's cut off, right? When he's like, "Oh, let me get a sample of the goods," and she's like uncomfortable but I thought it too. I'm like, is his hand somewhere? But I didn't know. So if it seems like he did, so that fucking sucks.
That sucks.
But and then nothing happened, and then he's just banging the front desk lady fucking 40 minutes later, and he probably didn't even shower because looking at Chris Pine, that wasn't like blankets over him. He was just pulling up his shirt, and I was like, do you guys just sleep
was it really?
Yeah, like, do you guys sleep in boots and stuff too, you fucking Texans? Anyway,
which is kind of so his wife's angry, right?
Because the divorce, I imagine.
Hates his guts. Yeah. I guess it's just divorce stuff.
Yeah,
because I didn't get any sense that he's like a recovering. I mean, they say it himself, like he's like doesn't have a record at all.
Chris Pine. Yeah, correct. Near the end, yeah.
So, but I don't get the sense that he's like a recovering alcoholic or drug dealer or
I didn't
drug
get that
addict
either.
Or anything like that.
Yeah, he even told Ben Foster like, we need you sober, like, and he didn't. Yes, he was drinking beer occasionally, but it wasn't excessive. Even when Ben Foster ordered shots, like, it seemed like Chris Pine was a little reluctant. Yeah, but he still did it. So yeah, I don't think there's anything negative towards him.
Which makes me question, like, man, was their marriage that bad? Where she just like, it looks like every time she looks at him, she's looking with like disdain.
Well, it just seemed like he was an absentee father. Like, it just seemed like he didn't want his kids to grow up poor and all that stuff, which I get. But like, it just maybe he wasn't as active.
I guess it kind of goes with like the theme of the movie, like poverty being like a disease.
Well, you saw those billboards like, oh, I need to get out of debt. Like, here's more debt that you can get into, and then within the first 2 minutes, there's the somebody wrote on the wall like, I did 2 tours. And I came back and there was no bailout or something like that. Like, it seemed pretty in your face a little bit about money and the institution of.
Yeah, it's on the.
Right.
Yeah.
On the nose.
On the nose.
Mm-hmm. But
like I'm saying, like that, like their whole relationship, like it's literally like poverty and just the situation that they are. That's why they're miserable. Like, that's the basis of their miserable-tude.
He told Jeff Bridges, like, my parents grew up poor. I'm growing up poor. Like, my boys aren't going to grow up poor. And I mean, that's more than likely, obviously, the reason to me why they wanted to save the ranch is because the oil, right? They knew the oil was there, so they had to pay those back pay. They had the mortgage and all that stuff. Now, granted, robbing banks isn't the most ideal way to do it, but how is he going to make quick money? Like, what is this? Takes place over 4 days max that for them to do this? But to make the money that quick to get it in at that last second. I do like that they went to casinos, though, and to launder it. But, like, he didn't. You would think, hey, here's $20,000. And here's all your chips, sir. And he just goes and sits at the bar and then just brings it back like, hey, I didn't. Like, you think that security would be like, hey, this guy, like, he's not even gambling. What's going on here? But the lawyer had said that was he in on it? Not in on it, but like, was he kind of aware that they were stealing the money and then just bringing it back to them? And
he says it.
Right.
He's like, it's poetic or whatever he says, that you're stealing the money from the bank that holds, the lien over you guys.
Right.
Like, it's symbolic or whatever.
Right. Because I think Ben Foster asked him, like, what are you not getting out of this, but like, what's your take on all this shit? But it makes me wonder, like, did Chris Pine tell him? Like, was this a friend of his maybe? Yeah. Because, I mean, that's some pretty gnarly
Well, I mean, he's probably just smart enough to know what they're doing without them saying what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
You'd hope. He was a lawyer? What was he?
I think he's an attorney. Yeah,
okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
So he's like, you need to tell me what you're doing, but I know what's happening.
Right.
Because obviously he knows, because he says, like, hey, you guys are robbing from the banks that you guys owe money to. Like, it's sticking it to the man.
Yeah. So you said you liked this movie. What did you like most about it?
Other than the baby blues?
Mm-hmm. Baby blues, the pearly whites, the fucking acting, the handsomeness. Yes, besides that.
It's exciting. I like their relationship. Ben and Chris. Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Yeah, Ben Foster for sure.
Ben Foster's funny.
Well, Jeff Bridges definitely, but on like a racist tone still, kind of. Like, I know he's making those jokes. I
didn't like that as much.
I did not like it at all. I did not like it. I know it's
even my dad had mentioned it. He's like, he's pretty racist, and I was like, he's just messing with his friends. Like,
he's of the times, but that's what I thought too. Like, he's obviously fucking with his friend, but at the same time, the friend was like not on board with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I can't wait for you to be
retired. Like, his death, like, it really, like, he's sad.
Oh yeah,
about his death.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he went out of his way to really shoot him in the head. That shot, that static shot of Ben Foster just bleeding out, like leaning over the rifle, that was pretty tight. Yeah, I think it was a good looking shot. But
I like the ending a lot, like their little showdown at the end, like the mano y mano. Like,
yeah, you want to finish this conversation? Yeah, you want to come on by? Like, fuck. I feel like Chris Pine would still win that. I would hope, but well, my thought was this, because I didn't know the parents or the wife or ex-wife was coming back up and stuff. Was that like, if they had that showdown? I feel like the only way Jeff Bridges can win something like that, because he's old. Not to say that he's not going to be quick, but as quick as somebody that's 20 years younger than you, at least 25, 30 years younger than you, like, no fucking way. But it would be like Jeff Bridges would have to like sneak up or like attack at a certain, like, have it strategized on how he can take out Chris Pine. But he told him, hey, I got a rental over in the city. Come on by, motherfucker.
I feel almost like a little like a Michael from The Godfather vibes from Chris Pine a little bit, like a transformation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like he starts going in. Obviously, he devised the plan to get the money from the banks, pay back the mortgage, just to keep ownership of the house and stuff like that.
Right.
But like the criminal element and the actual what you need to do, like the fortitude that you need to actually pull off the plan, like that comes from his brother. Like he's just a fucking crazy guy who robs and does everything anyways.
That's what it's hitting. I heard that noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree, because Ben Foster's kind of, I wouldn't say nuts, but just like he's a little unhinged.
No, he's nuts.
He's a little unhinged.
Okay.
Like the way he reacts, like he's going to start the fight with that guy in the Camaro.
It's fine lines you're drawing.
I get it.
It's not nuts. He's unhinged. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Well, nuts, I think, is the top. Like, you're a fucking maniac if you're on top. While unhinged, like, you have the capability, but okay. All right.
Whatever
distinction.
But by the end, I think because I've been watching so much that Offer and I fucking watched The Godfather like 3 times, something like that, in the past like week.
That movie's fucking long, and you're watching The Godfather?
I watched The Godfather 2 too, so
that's fine. Just
and I'm watching it tomorrow.
Just don't watch it.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. But I mean, so there's like a transformation due to like the circumstances and maybe fate or whatever, with Michael transforming from like the good son to like a monster essentially, right? So I feel like by the end of this movie, Chris Pine has transformed completely, not to like a crazy person like his brother,
right?
But like if he were to make that threat, not the threat or whatever,
Guarantee.
To Jeff at the beginning, you wouldn't believe it for a second. Because like those beginning banks, he's freaking out. It's like, what do you, why you didn't have to hit him? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But by the end of the movie, by everything they've been through, like at the end, he's like, if you want to settle this, we can settle this. Like, I want to be done with this. So you know what I'm saying? Like he's transformed into that guy is what I'm saying.
I don't exactly agree on that. It's not that you're not, I mean, that seems likely that like, yes, you're right. He started from the beginning that he seemed a little more chalant about a lot. No, you're right. Like, because Ben Foster is the one that really, like, once they go in the bank, he's the one that's leading the way, right? And Chris Pine's the one that's like, okay, stay down, motherfucker.
Yeah, he doesn't want anyone hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't want anyone hurt. He got shot at. He did get shot through and through. But, and Ben Foster, really, I was thinking about it. I don't want to count the numbers. I thought he shot that security guard 5 times, and then he shot the guy in the head. But those revolvers, I thought only carry 5. Doesn't matter. So, I know, shut up. So, I think Chris Pine always had it in him, and I think the fact that he's telling Jeff Bridges though, like, hey, you want to settle this shit because he's trying to protect his kids. So now that it's gone to that point where now he like the guy's still coming after him, even though he's fucking retired, even though Chris Pine didn't kill anybody. It was Ben Foster, of course. Ben Foster killed them all. That it's unfinished business, right? And like he was a part of it all, so I know that's why Jeff Bridges is going after him. But I think he's only acting that way just to protect like the ex-wife and the kids. Yeah,
but he's not acting at that point. Like he's willing to do whatever it takes to protect his family and his kids.
Right, but I just don't know if I would say that he has a full-on transformation, but I would just say that like he transforms into this different person.
He's not nuts. He's unhinged.
Yeah.
You fucking
Look, he's not an addict. He just has, I don't know, I would just say like a... what is it? He is dependent on something. He's not addicted, but he's dependent on something.
Involuntarily dependent on it. He's not addicted.
There is a part where Chris Pine was like, is this my hat? Like, and he pulled it up. I was like, I wonder if that was ad-libbed. Because it seemed like Ben Foster was like he just went with it. And I thought that was kind of fun. Also, the part where Ben Foster says, I asked you to get me a Dr. Pepper. This is Mr. Pibb. Only assholes drink Mr. Pibb. And he's like, you better drink up. Like, I was wondering if, like, did they just fucking ad-lib? If that is that, I'm sure we can find the script somewhere online. But since Chris Pine is funny, and I've seen Ben Foster for a very long time in movies, he's funny too.
I want to say it was. Or there's something like Dr. Pepper's like manufactured in like Texas or something like that. So they're like, fuck Mr. Pibb. It's bitches. So, something like that.
I mean, I think I read it. They almost taste exactly the same. If I put them
I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, if I put them in 2 separate cups and I don't tell you which one's which, drink it.
I could be wrong.
You are probably.
But I'm fairly confident.
Okay.
Like 86% confident that I could do like a Coke Pepsi taste test.
I think you could too.
And I could pass that.
I could now.
A Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper, there's no fucking way.
What about Sprite and Sierra Mist? Or no, Sprite and 7 Up.
Like, what the fuck? Ooh, that'd be a good like triple.
Yeah.
I would say 7 Up to Sprite. I could probably see the difference.
Yeah.
Sprite to Sierra Mist, I could not.
What about Siesta to Coke and Pepsi? Or even what's that one with the blue label?
RC Cola?
Yeah, RC Cola.
That'd be fun to do.
Fuck, I haven't had RC Cola in a long motherfucking time.
Another tangent. There was a short film. I don't remember where. I mean, it's on YouTube, but where some guy's buddy says like he loves like orange soda, so he does like
that thing's called Good Burger.
Yeah. But he like gets super drunk and he does the orange soda taste test, which I didn't even know there was more than like 3 orange sodas. I'm like, fucking.
Well, there's Crush, there's Shasta,
Fanta.
Or I said Shasta. Oh yeah, there's a Shasta and there's a Fanta, and then there's.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but there's like 5 of them, and he fucking nails it. So I'm like, it's compelling.
But it was in a movie.
It's just a little short film that
sure.
they did.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's fun.
I think I could tell the difference between like Bargs, A&W, and well, those two, because A&W is creamier for sure.
Yeah.
Bargs has the bite.
Saying Bargs? It's Barks.
I thought it's Bargs.
It's Barks.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, because that's Barks has bite.
I think it's Bargs has bite.
Barg?
Look it up. I'm almost. There's no way it's Barks. There's no. I've been saying that wrong for fucking 30 years. No, I have not. It's Bargs.
I think
it's a Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Jack Key, not Jack Gee.
No, I think it's Bargs. It's Bargs. Bargs has bite.
No,
I understand what you mean. I
please
understand because barks. That makes sense for a bite, like a bark,
Of
like
all
a dog.
the hills to die on, this is not the one you want
This
to do.
is the one I will roll down as I'm fucking.
You don't want to
bleeding
roll
out.
your fucking truck back with the gas can in it and blow up.
How did that blow up so big too?
That was pretty bad.
That was, but at the same time, it's just what kerosene inside that. Maybe it could have been gas.
Gasoline.
But still, to have an explosion like that. Anyway, it's barks.
Some type of magic in the movies. I didn't understand.
What is that about? Yeah, as if there was some kind of trigger that.
Well,
they
I think the ads has a dog in it, or I could be wrong. Whatever, it's my memory. But it's barks has bite, like a dog barks and a dog bites.
I get it. I understand. And that makes
What
sense.
the fuck's a
rationally.
barg?
I don't know. A barg of cola, a barg of root beer, like a maybe like
It's not
it,
bargs has bigs.
agree to disagree. Until someone proves otherwise, I still believe it's bargs. You can't look it up right now. As
Every listener, please email Brandon how foolish he is.
you can email me at engorgedmonster@gmail.com. That is another one of my. It's not. I don't have that. So I did right here though that Ben Foster has all the good lines. Like I felt like he had all the comedy. Well, Jeff Bridges again, yeah, but I like Ben Foster. Not as much as I like Pine, but Ben Foster.
What's the crazy? What's the movie where he's crazy? I mean, all the movies that he's in.
There's
So
that
it's
one.
Hostage.
Well, no. Oh, I don't know. Was he in Hostage with Sam Jackson?
Oh, is that what that is? No, what's the one with
There's-
Bruce Willis where he's like a fireman or something, and they his family's in the house.
Oh, I don't know.
And isn't Ben Foster the crazy guy or
Well,
something?
Ben Foster is also in that like that space movie where like he was like turns out he was like I don't know if it was schizophrenic or something like that. I don't think it's correct term used for that anymore. But like it was him and it was what's the he was in Field of Dreams.
Kevin Costner.
No, I'm sorry, that's a completely wrong movie. Okay, so the guy in Independence Day that says I'm back and he goes into there. His brother, Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid. No, that's Randy Quaid, but Dennis
Quaid.
Okay, so he's the more successful one, right? So
Yes.
Dennis Quaid and Ben Foster were in a movie, and you thought they were completely different people, but it turns out they were the same person. Okay. Anyway, so there's you making your fucking noises again, and so anyway, Ben Foster, he's been around for a long motherfucking time, and I don't think I've seen enough movies of him. Like it makes me think of Jamie, the guy that was in Billy Elliot.
Jamie Bell.
Yeah. Like I've always liked him, but I just don't see him in a lot of movies. The last one I saw him in was the one with Michael B. Jordan, the Tom Clancy movie on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
You thought he was a bad guy.
Remorse or something like that.
Yeah. No remorse, or you get remorse when you're dead. I don't remember. It was actually not a bad movie, but the climax.
Upon Her Majesty's remorse.
Yeah. So you like the movie. Your best part of the movie was, it seemed like what you said, everything about it. Was there any parts of it you didn't like? It was the Texans, right? It was the Texans.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate one character. It's fine. I mean, the stuff I disliked the most, probably the Jeff Bridges and Gil in the motel room where he's just making fun of him.
Yeah, just talking. Yeah, like didn't want to watch the Christian, the mega
That's fine.
church.
Like that stuff's funny though. Like it's fine. It's funny. But like favorite is the end. The scene with the brothers where they split up. Like that's pretty emotionally.
What do you say? Like fuck you or whatever. Yeah. Is it fuck you or is okay? Yeah, like saying love you, fuck you though.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah. And they smirk.
I like the bros in the green Challenger or whatever. Who pulls the gun?
That's what
on
I was
him.
gonna say. Like like so it just looked like Ben Foster was just leaning back and he just might have been looking from like the corner of his eye, and that guy immediately like, what?
You want some, bitch?
Yeah, and he's look at this Glock I have. I got a fucking sweet Glock, and I obviously seeing Chris Pine come out, I'm like he has to do something because Ben Foster doesn't give a shit, and the friend like he had it coming, like he just immediately gives up, which I. Yeah. But that lime green Challenger or Charger, whatever the fuck it is. I mean, I can see someone.
But like that shit is like it's in him, right? The fucking deep inside him, like the fucking bad at like to protect his family though.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
What are the
Like
mom?
immediately, like if his family's in danger, like he goes into fucking beast mode.
The mom died. Did she have like cancer or something?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think they said it though, right? But she
You can infer, yeah.
yeah. And so Ben Foster's character killed the father or the stepfather in the barn.
That's a good question. I don't know. I think they just say father, so I'm not sure.
But it was a hunting accident. But they're like it was in a barn. Like how I don't know how you're hunting and shooting a motherfucker. But so he did that, but he didn't go to jail for that. He went to jail for robbing the banks. I thought.
Did they say he did time earlier?
I thought he did 7 years, but I thought that was for the bank robbing. But they might have said something about the dad dying.
Well, I mean, if they call it an accident, I guess you wouldn't go to prison.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, it was not. I mean, because he even says earlier, like, she was all mad at me for shooting dad or whatever. But so the T-bone lady, that bitch went fucking around. Like, everybody orders a T-bone.
It's my dad's favorite part.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, because they just accept it. Like, they get iced tea or whatever. Like, you got it, ma'am. Like, those Texans.
That's a medium rare. It's like, I'll actually have it. That wasn't a question.
Yeah. Like, those, not to group all Texan people together, but to group all Texan people together, everything I've ever seen of someone from Texas in anything, it's always guns, meat, and trucks, like pickup trucks and stuff. And that this movie was not short of any of that. Like, it was all there. They're all, not all of them, they're all packing heat. And when those guys, when they initially get out of the bigger bank after killing the security guard and the dude,
the final one.
yeah, the group of people, did they get there because that girl texted, you think?
Yeah.
So those people doing that, like,
Vigilantes.
correct, they should all technically get in trouble, right? If they killed Ben Foster, and then, because Jeff Bridges is like, when the guys are, oh, I'll fucking kill myself, like, you don't want to do that because I'm coming after you. So I understand Texas has the stand your ground, yeah, but those guys aren't on their own property. They're on public land essentially, or the bank's land, and shooting at them. So again, my thought would still be, even if they did kill either one of those guys, they would still get in trouble. Now, granted, a judge might be like, nah, it's all right, but they should still get charged for murder. That would be my interpretation. The way Jeff Bridges was.
Well, that's the thing. Like, depending on the state, like, all those laws have different parameters. So who knows? Like, if it might be something where, like, if you're stopping the act of a violent crime, like,
right,
you're not going to get charged.
Right, which I get that. Like, there's
someone comes running out of the bank with a gun,
and you can act on it, and you have a concealed carry. Like, I would imagine in California, you could do that. Like, someone's robbing a place, or someone's being attacked, and if you feel threatened, pop a few off. But I had a thought process to that too. Can locals do that? What was he gonna go to with this? Something about the people killing. I don't remember anymore. But I would say Ben Foster's part, where he pulls out the assault rifle, the M16, and he has the 2 banana clip, and then he has a single clip. But I was like, that's pretty fucking badass. And they just all run away and stuff, like, and he's just walking towards them, shooting and shit. That was a pretty fun scene. I mean, the whole movie, I do agree, the whole movie was good. There's a few lulls to me. I would agree with you with Jeff Bridges and the partner. That wasn't as I guess fun, but they all have good chemistry with one another. They're all great actors, and I greatly enjoyed the movie. But what do you have about this movie? Like, what else really stood out to you?
That's it. That's all I got. In regards to the Texas stuff, that's one of those things where I guess they kind of foster that mentality themselves a little bit. Fostered that mentality. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. That's why they pay the big bucks.
Mm-hmm. I get paid nothing.
Where the idea of, that whole don't mess with Texas kind of business. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a huge state with like
the second largest,
millions and millions. By
Alaska's
area?
The first.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because I think there was a thing when Texas was pissed when Alaska was to become a state, because they're like, no, we want to be the biggest state, and Alaska's larger. Yeah. I don't know by what kind of margin, but it's larger, and
probably a lot.
I would imagine.
But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's a huge state with a huge diverse amount of people. Like, they're not all like that, but that's just kind of in the books and the movies and everything that we've seen about them. Like, just that's the identity that's been given off. So.
You said that it would take how long to get across Texas?
It's like fucking 12 hours to drive across that bitch.
How does it take that much longer to get across that compared to California?
Yeah,
which is like from where we are, which is like Orange County.
Actually, no, it probably takes like 20 hours to get across it.
Okay, so from Orange County to Sacramento, we're looking at maybe 10 hours.
I don't even think that's that long, but okay.
Well, because I used to go to San Francisco a lot. Like, my friends and I would drive up there and we'd go skate and shit. It would take us maybe 6 to get there, and I thought Sacktown was only like an hour and a half outside of that too, maybe 2. But obviously Sacramento's not it's pretty much the top, like, it's major city wise, but there's still more room on top of that.
You go all the way to Eureka.
Oh yeah, Eureka, California. Yeah. Although, was there a show called Eureka?
I don't know.
Come on, you're supposed to know pop culture and television like I do. I think you know a lot more still, but whatever.
No, because like I was mapping it because I have nothing else better to do. Mm-hmm. But like the drive time to El Paso was 11 hours.
Sorry, what did you say?
El Paso.
Okay, I just wanted to hear you say instead of just saying El Paso.
El Paso.
El Paso.
So to get there, but then to get from there to Austin, it was like another 11 hours, and Austin's not even on the border, so it's just fucking huge.
Unless it's just there's no which would be making absolutely no sense, but if there's no direct way to get there.
It looked pretty direct to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like there has to be a direct way, or at least just a little whatever. Fucking Texas. So all those trucks when they're chasing them, those trucks should have been able to catch up to that Ford that they had because that's an older Ford. They have newer, more powerful trucks, but they were like fucking half a mile back, and they kept going. That you would think that the police or a helo or whatever, what do they call a helicopter? Helo, right? Should have been dispatched already. They could have got to them motherfuckers. But, you know, it's for the movie. I get it. Have you ever been pulled over?
Yeah.
Have you ever been ticketed?
Yes.
It's because you're brown.
Yeah.
I imagine so, yeah.
Well, it's funny. I had never been pulled over or anything for, I don't know, 10 years or whatever. And then...
When did you start driving? What age? 17?
17, something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, all that time, never got pulled over or anything. And then the second I got a brand new car, and, you know, I was working nights.
Was it the BMW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working
Brown
nights.
guy in a BMW?
Yeah.
I get it.
So,
it's
like,
shady.
literally, like, the first month, I must have got pulled over, like, 3 times. I'm like, it's a little, you guys laying on a little thick.
Little dicey there with the police.
And then I got a speeding ticket for going 47 in a 35. So I'm like, all right, fuck you guys.
47 in a 35? Yeah. I mean, if you were going 40 in a 35, I think they'd let you go. But you're going a little over 10 miles over? I mean, come on. I get that.
And then I don't even know if he had the gun, the radar. You know, I don't know.
You just say, hey, you know, I'm going to go on assumption here. You look like you're going pretty quick. Your hair was kind of going.
But it was like on La Habra Boulevard. Like it's not a tiny little baby street.
Like it's beach, because beach is what 4 lanes, give or take, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, beach goes up to fucking like 60 miles an hour some parts.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I get that.
Whatever. No big deal. It doesn't bother me. I'm not thinking about it every day.
Yeah, you don't think about it every day, and you have the name of the cop that pulled you over with a it's on like a dartboard, and there's a bullseye on him or
His
something.
fucking strings go. His eyes are like scratched out.
Yeah, and then the strings lead to where his house is, where he parks his car. You look like Charlie Day, and It's Always Sunny. So.
It's like surveillance pictures of him just walking out. There was like his mistress's like
he's walking
hotel room,
walking out of adult bookstores and stuff. Yeah. I've been pulled over a few times.
There's a picture of his dog, but his dog has like the black bar redacted eyes.
Everybody, even the dog, yeah. Children, anybody in the photo, yeah. It's blacked out. I've been pulled over a few times and mostly let off. I would contribute that to the whiteness.
Jerked off?
Yeah, that too.
That's how you got.
Yeah. Been arrested once. But
what?
Well, just put in handcuffs. Not like arrested, right? But put in handcuffs.
You were detained.
Yes, in the cop car. They weren't. I mean, not to talk like cops.
You said you were
going to
do a kickflip, but you did a
heel flip,
and they're like,
they got upset. Yeah.
I tried to do the gun cocking like a gallon.
And he just spit all over the floor. So no, it's a short story. Basically, I was just waiting in a car while my friends went and skated because it was like past midnight. I just didn't want to skate anymore. We had
by
skated
skate, you mean rob a liquor store?
Correct.
Okay.
And so they were out skating, and this is like they snuck into Golden West College. And and then we had parked across the street at a gas station, and the cops pulled up, and I was in the car talking to their girlfriend at the time, and I noticed like a spotlight on the car. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like reclined back, and I was like, hey, let me call you back. So something's going on. I leaned up, and I saw the cops walking towards the car. I was like, oh, fuck me. And they kept telling me to get out. And I was like, no, I'm just here. And they're like, no, get out of the car. I was like, so I get out of the car and they put me in cuffs and they're like, you know, we know you're with those people that are at the school skateboarding. They're running from the security right now. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just here waiting for a friend of mine. Like he just went to his girlfriend's house to do whatever. I'm like, well, then that's fine. You can wait for him in the car then. I was like, shit. So I was already in handcuffs. They put me in there. As they're waiting, they're like, they had my phone. So I don't know if at that time that was perfectly legal that they had my phone without like a warrant and stuff like that. Yeah.
They weren't going through it though, right?
They absolutely were. I didn't have
password?
I didn't have a password. This is okay. This phone at that time, I had a Sony Ericsson bar phone. So all the buttons were actually pressable and stuff like that. But I don't think at that time you can have a passcode on that.
Going through your...
I get it. But I was...
No, and I'm not mad at you. I'm at them. Like,
sure. but I was like 18. Maybe.
We got him. He called.
Yeah.
Fucking. Okay.
Yeah, we got you, boy.
He called Giuseppe's Pizza 2 nights ago and ordered. Sorry, what did he get? 2 large pizzas.
Yeah, you can't eat all that. You fucking. And at that time, again, 18, 19-year-old Brandon. I mean, 120 pounds. I was wet, like in clothes, wet. I was like 120, 130. Anyway, so they're going through my phone, like, which one of these is your friends in the skating? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But you can call my friend Luke. He's not my friend anymore. But you can call my friend Luke, and he'll come right back. Like, I was just waiting for him. Calls Luke. Luke didn't answer. And then we wait a few minutes. He calls him again, and Luke answers.
He got caught up in some punene.
Yeah. He was knuckle deep in some punane. So he tells Luke what's going on. He's like, we got your pal here. We're waiting for you to come back. And so, you better get back here now. So I hear Luke say, okay. And so I'm hoping that they just don't come back. Because, like, really, just get away. They have nothing on me. And as we're waiting for them, Luke and the other friends to come back, again, Luke's not my friend anymore. But as we're waiting, this is before the Phantom Menace came out. So this is how long ago this was. And we're just sitting there. And I just say to the cops, like, so you guys going to see Phantom Menace? And they kind of look at each other, because I'm in the back, mind you. And the cop's like, this fucking idiot's going to go see it, this fucking nerd. And he's like, I'm not a fucking nerd. And then from then on, they're super cool. Yeah. Like, we're talking about movies and stuff like that. And then they tell me, too, like, look, we had to call our, like, supervisor, which was, I don't know what Huntington Beach Police is.
Are you a minor at this point? Yeah,
I was like 18. Right? I was like 18, 19. Just, no. Yes, 100%.
No.
Look up when Phantom Menace came out.
The Phantom Menace.
Star Wars.
From 1997.
Look it up.
You fucking moron.
I swear to God, I was
in high school. I was in middle school when that came out.
There's no way that came out in 97.
7th grade, you fucking
Okay, then it might have been the next Star Wars.
Whatever. It was a different Star Wars. Okay, just don't say Phantom Menace.
That's fine. Phantom Menace. I said it again. So, okay, what? Yeah.
1999. Fucking
okay, so then I was...
Nitwit.
Okay, so then I was 12 when that came out? Yes. That does not make sense.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't change time.
maybe it was Revenge of the Sith. But still.
Revenge of the Sith?
Not Revenge of the
Sith. 6 years ago.
But no. What? Was that already 6 years ago? There's no way that was 6 years ago already. Was that?
No, Revenge of the Sith. That's a long time ago. But that's like 1990 or 2003.
Okay, that sounds more accurate then. Okay, so not the Phantom Menace. Okay, so I was 12 years old. But whatever it was the Star Wars. So I digress. He's like, look, we called our supervisor. He's on his way here right now. When your friends get here, if they're here before the person, you got to tell them, like, you got to look, like, sad. You got to look bummed out. I'm like, why? He's like, because you just got to look pissed. That way we don't take you in or whatever. I'm like,
2005.
Okay. That sounds a little better.
Yeah.
But still, even then, I would have been
19.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, there we go. So anyway, Luke and the friends show up, and Luke and I are of age. Again, Luke's not my friend. But then the other two guys, they were not. They were like 16. And so they take me out of the car.
Transporting minors across state lines.
And it was like midnight, so it was past curfew. And so they all get there. They sit us all on the curb, and they take me out of the handcuffs finally. And they're like, look, like, the guy's almost here. Like, fucking just looks sad. The guy pulls up in a fucking, just, like, pulls up real quick. Gets out of the car, like, yeah. Has the windows down, like, looking at us. Yeah. Slow-mo.
Yeah.
He's like, he gets out of the car. He's like, what the fuck is this? And the cops that arrested me, they were like, oh, like, they were the kids that were skating at the park or at the
Did you just mix harass and arrest in one word? Harassed?
Maybe.
That's pretty good. Maybe. I like it.
Anyway. He's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You went after my dinner for this fucking shit.
What the fuck?
Get him the fuck out of here. And the guy's like, well, these two are mine. He's like, give him a ticket and get him the fuck out. And so my two friends that are with us that were underage, they got tickets. While Luke and I got away with nothing. Yeah. We're just like, okay.
You didn't do anything.
I definitely didn't, but they were technically trespassing on Golden State or on Golden West. So we got away with it. But I found out after the fact that Luke had weed in his car. Okay. Like, it was in the center console. So if they would have actually looked through the car, we would have all been fucked. But
I don't know if that's how laws work. We're doing a lot of law talk on this episode.
Well, I don't know if you know, but here's the thing.
Possession laws.
So I have a degree in bird law, and and also my friend Bob Loblaw, he has a law blog that I can read about.
Like a moron.
I fucking love Arrested Development. Bob Loblaw's law blog, and that was who's Charles in Charge? What was his real name again? I know this.
We've done this like 9.
I don't care. That it was no, not Tony.
Yeah. There's a Z in it. Danza.
No, not Tony Danza. That's
Charles in Charge.
I did say Charles in Charge, but he was Chachi in Happy Days and all that stuff. But he was in Charles in Charge, I believe, a little bit. Anyway, so
Scott
Baio. I said Tony. I'm sorry. So he was in Arrested Development
Tony Danza,
as blah blah blah. Well, I said Tony. You said Danza. So anyway, I say Tony. You say okay. It doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah, I've been pulled over many times. I've been pulled over. No, here's a fun story too.
Are we still going on this?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
So there's a time I was dating this other girl, and I was driving because I lived in La Habra at that time, and we were driving over Idaho. So obviously, if you're coming up from like Fullerton area, you don't know what's coming up, and they had a traffic stop, but luckily the traffic stop, as you go over Idaho, right, there's one light right there, and there's houses to the right, house to the left, and there's that park. That it was after that, and so I was like, oh, quick decision. And I went left and turned into...
Did you not have a license? Why did you not want to get pulled over?
So here's why I didn't want to get pulled over. Because I knew I had a warrant out for my arrest. Mm-hmm. And because I had a failure to appear. Everything's good now.
Classic Brandon.
Absolutely classic Brandon. But I pulled over and she's like, what's going on? I was like, I need you to jump in the driver's seat. And she's like, what's going on? I was like, no questions. And I did tell her, I did. And so she drove. And then after we went past it, they didn't even stop her. But, because it's like they just randomly choose or whatever. Yeah. But at that time, I, looking like a fuckface like I do now. Anyway, so I told her what's up, and she's like, that's it? I was like, well, it's a warrant still, and it's a failure to appear. Like, they could technically take me in. And so that was that. Yeah, but I was, like, sweating profusely. Anyhow, so beyond that, Chris Pine had a gaping hole in his abdomen. Mm-hmm. And, yes, the bullet went through. But he's got to be bleeding the fuck out. Like, I know they put duct tape around and stuff and they compress it and everything like that, but that's still the abdomen area. Like, you would think, even though he's duct taping it, even though he's keeping it compressed.
There'd be some organs or something.
Yeah. That's like one clean chunk. Like, I'm no doctor, but there should be some bones. He should have fucking died. Because when he was in the casino, like, waiting, he sees that Ben's dead, like, I would think that he would just be sweating, like maybe like looking a lot whiter and stuff like that. Because I understand it's a movie and I understand he has to survive and all this shit, but like fuck, like he should have been in not good conditions, unless he had somebody.
Also, their scheme would have failed if he would have died because they wouldn't have.
He wouldn't have been able to get
wouldn't have got that second check to the bank, and they would have taken the property.
100%. And those kids, you left the kids nothing in that trust.
Also, that fucking bank guy is like, he tried to like Glenn Ross him. He's like, it's a little late. We'll fax this over on Monday or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think I get what you're saying. And I think he was just like, yeah, we'll get that to you. It'll be out there next week. He's like, no, I'm gonna watch you do it. Yeah, you're gonna. He's like, there's a lot of things I gotta do. I got all the time in the fucking world. And I do like that because he's like, I need you to fax this over to this place. Like, it's this. I got all the time in the world. And then the next shot, they're just standing outside the fucking Xerox machine and fax. Yeah. And I chuckled a little bit. I was like, that's funny. Like, that's, even though it's like just a visual gag, I like that a lot. And what else do I have here? Chilling in a casino with a hole in you. You should be sweating profusely. Standing next to the fax machine made me chuckle. So the woman ranger, she said that with the oil that they get, it's about 2,000 barrels a month. So about $50,000 a month. Imagine that now, if they had that, because those barrels would be more expensive now, right? Because like don't you know anything about the economic?
I don't fucking play fucking oil futures, you son of a bitch.
Was that what you just said? Oil futures? Is that a game?
What?
What is oil futures?
Oh, sorry. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but apparently you do.
Yeah, but what's oil futures?
It's how they bet on what the price of stuff is going to be in the future. That's how they make their money. Futures. Commodities.
Multiple futures.
Your fucking favorite card game is fucking
Pit.
Mm-hmm. It's literally what it's about. Commodities.
It is. And you're trying to collect all the commodities. So commodities. Lady Gaga. Anyway, if you guys don't know what Pit is, it is a card game. You want to play with multiple people. I think more than 4 is the best. I introduced it to Mike, but you have a bunch of different commodities. For every person that's playing, you have to put in a commodity of what the card is. So I have the old version. So it's like wheat, barley, sugar, whatever. It's different now. But anyway, you shuffle all the cards, you deal them out, and it's just a trading game. But you can only trade the same suit unless you have the bull or the bear, because those are the wilds. Technically, I think the bull is the good wild. The bear is no matter what, you never want the bear. Anyway, I highly suggest the game Pit if you have a big family, a lot of friends that like to play these kind of games, because I fucking love it because you're just basically yelling at each other.
Yell at everybody.
Yeah, you're
It's
just
fun.
yelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you lose, even if you don't have the bear or the bull, it's like fuck, and you find out like who had the one wheat that I needed or whatever. Oh, sorry. It's like, grr. But anyway, I really like that game. Do you have a favorite card game?
No.
Do you have a favorite board game?
No. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't play them that often. I like Monopoly.
Monopoly is fun.
Cards, just Uno and everything.
Uno's great. I great. The good thing about Uno is that it's a game you can actually play with just regular cards too, because you can, because the clubs, diamonds, all that shit.
That's fun though.
I understand. Yes, there's no reverse, there's no draw two and shit.
I do like blackjack and poker, but I'm not very good at them.
Yeah, I don't understand it when it comes like blackjack, like when to hit and when to hold or like the split.
Double down.
Yeah, like I don't get it. And people have tried to help me, but as you're aware, when there's the counting and numbers involved, I just feel like
something about being at the blackjack table and using my fingers to count to 14. It's not a good look.
Okay, but the ace can be 1 and 11. I don't get it. What is happening? And then the handlebar mustache that Chris Pine has at the end. I'm down for that. I typically hate a handlebar mustache, but I think it's just because I'm so heterosexually attracted to him that I'm down for that.
It's good with the little bit of shadow underneath it. Like if it's a clean handlebar, you look ridiculous.
You look a little creepy.
But if it's like
little
stubs,
like 2 days, 2 days worth, 3 days worth. Yeah, I get that.
I'm all about it.
Can you? I think I've asked you this before. I don't know about on air. Well, this isn't on the air, but can you grow a solid beard, or it's a little patchy, right?
It's patchy, yeah.
Like, because I see on your face,
I'm getting older.
Your mustache should be fine. It looks like.
You know what? It looks when it's if it goes out a little bit, there's like a kind of a blank spot right here, so it would probably look ridiculous.
I just realized I don't know what's happening because
and I'll get a lot of neck beard and just.
Oh yeah, get rid of that. No, it's not a good look.
It's not.
I just realized I don't know if you can see it, but like right in here,
I see it,
there's like a little spot, right? That's never been there. And then as of recently, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because if you get close, you can see there's hair there. It's just not coming out right now. So I don't know what's going on.
It almost looks like you had like a skin graft and
right.
put someone else.
Or like I had fucking Joaquin, like I had what does he have? A cleft lip?
Yeah, the cleft lip.
Like something like that happened, but I had it fixed. But or maybe I got burned and just hair won't grow there. But I don't know and I feel honestly
self-conscious about it
a little bit now because I notice it.
Well, now that you mention it, I can't stop staring.
Yeah, well, I get it. I'm a decent looking guy. I get it. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a solid 6.
I didn't say those words didn't come out of my mouth.
You don't have to. Like you get it. I see it in your eyes. Like I can feel it, and I'm a solid 6. I can give you a solid 6.
I have a type, and that type is Chris Pine. So
okay, were you about to say Pratt again? I know. I did it twice already. I was like Pine because I think they're both CPs, and then just Pratt. I feel like Pratt rolls off easier than Pine because I feel like I was talking with some friends at work, and I was saying that everywhere our spectacular is, I say Brandon and Mike because it flows easier. Brandon and Mike and Brandon. Mike and Brandon, I think, works a lot better because my name has the hard D. But I didn't think of that. But Brandon, like it's the hard D. But like Mike is one syllable.
One syllable, yeah.
So Brandon. So we have the two.
Mike and Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, not Brandon. Brandon.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I feel like my way of Brandon is said correctly, but Brendan, I don't like any of that.
Brendan
or Braden. Cut that shit out real quick. Anyway, so Mike and Brandon, I think flows a lot easier.
Brandon and Mike. Well, because yours that other way, it's like a da 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 da.
Exactly.
Brandon and Mike. Da 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 da. But
Mike and Brandon. Like, I think that could segue into...
Mike.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have any other notes about this movie besides Chris Pine's devilishly delicious eyes and face and everything about him?
I think we're good. Like, it's well constructed. I like how it ends. I like the scheme. It's interesting. It really has
the scheme. We can talk about that real quick. So they're only taking small bills because the hundreds, they're tracked. Is that what they were saying, right?
Well, I mean, the scheme in general is to steal money from the bank that
give it
owns
back to
the
bank.
lien on their mother's property. That's essentially just trying to steal the property from their mom. And I guess the bank probably knows that it's valuable because that's why they want that property so bad. You know? I'm assuming. So I like the stealing from themselves to give it back to themselves, and then also at the end where they're like, okay, we'll have the bank manage the trust too. So they're like.
So really stick it to them.
Yeah, really.
Also, like they said later, like the bank doesn't want to prosecute or they don't want to get involved because this is money that's coming in to them. Okay, yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And do you think so? Chris Pine obviously thought of it all, assumably. Do you think that with them grabbing all the small, because really, so they're taking what's in the tills, right? For the most, they're not taking safe. And
well, I mean, also they only need a certain amount. It's 20,000 or something, right?
I thought it was a little more. Maybe I thought he said something around 40, but I mean, either way.
I think you're right. I think it's 2 checks of 20. So
Yeah,
40,000.
something like that. Yeah, like 43 or whatever the fuck it was. And then the bank was like, "Oh, we waived this." I was like, "How kind of you guys to waive that for me, even though I'm giving you all this fucking money." But like, he needed it by this one day.
Yeah,
and he got there by the skin of his teeth. They were going to
foreclose on that day.
Correct. And but I would think that if you are I don't know anything about stuff like this. Like,
we know.
Yeah. So if you
think the bank's going to give them help them in any
right.
way,
I don't
the
mean,
answer is no.
I don't necessarily mean help, but yes, I do mean help, sort of. Like, right. So let's say he's like, okay, hey, look, here's $20,000 right now, and I can, if you give me an extra week, but I know, like you said, right, if the bank could be aware of the oil, or if
that's the thing, like they want that property. Right. That's the thing.
Because again, that guy was like, yeah, I'll take it. And it's like, like you're fucking doing this now. Yeah. So
I said Glengarry because it reminded me of when the guy wants to renege on his deal with Al Pacino. Yeah. He's like, it goes through on Friday. It's Monday. It's 2 business whole days. So that's the bullshit he's trying to pull with him.
I just recently spoke about Glengarry Glen Ross, and so we had Jack Lemmon, Ed Harris, not Ben Affleck. I'm sorry, Alec Baldwin, Kevin Spacey, and Pacino, that's right. Alan Arkin, right. So Ed Harris is the one that took the money and ran, or something like that, right? Because I think he disappeared.
Yes.
And then Jack Lemmon, who is lovely made fun of on The Simpsons as Gil. Yeah. But not to go into Glengarry, completely
Sheldon
different movie.
Is his name, right, in the movie?
I thought it was...
I think it's Sheldon.
I've only seen Glengarry once, actually.
Really?
Yeah. But I was telling my friend that movie is based on the play, and that's why there's only so many locations. He didn't know that, but we were talking about Baldwin, and not to talk about Baldwin, like I mean he's having some rough shit going on right now too with all that. But like his monologue of everything, that's the most memorable thing out of the movie, and he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes,
something
max, like if that. But no, I really like that movie, which I would probably like to play if I don't know if it's still running around like Cats and fucking Phantom of the Opera, but
I'm sure there's
amateur arena doing it. Like you go to fucking
performances.
Yeah, I gotcha. Anyway, so I did greatly like Hell or High Water. It was a little slow at times for me, but I still did like it. And apparently, I like all this guy's movies. Like I don't think I've seen one that was bad. Yeah, because he did this. He was Sicario, no?
Well, so I think Wind River is the first one that he directed. Okay, but he wrote Sicario. He wrote.
Oh, he didn't direct those.
He did not direct those.
Okay, so he's multifaceted. He's a two banger. And he can write and he can direct.
Oh, he's an actor too.
What the fuck? What is he?
He's in the movie.
Who was he in the movie?
I believe he's the guy on the hill with Jeff Bridges that used that.
Okay. He's like, I want to take the shot. He's like, give me that fucking gun. I've never said what the fuck that way. I don't know why. What the fuck? Like, it's like the CCH pounder. It's always funny. Mike and I were talking about that really quick because I was watching U.S. Marshals and Mike had asked me, he's like, is that? And so it was a scene where they're all walking up to see Tommy Lee Jones because the airplane had just crashed. And he's like, is that? And I knew exactly what he was thinking. And I was like, CCH Pounder? And he's like, yeah, is that her? I was like, no, I don't think so. And then we started joking about when Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia impersonated CCH Pounder. And it was so spot on that when we watched that clip, the next clip in the row was of CCH Pounder saying the exact line. And if you watch them back to back, you can almost not even tell. Like you Mike was even saying this, that you could
dub his voice onto her acting, and it would take a fucking eagle ear to hear the
difference.
Yeah.
Like he did really fucking good. But CCH Pounder, it was not her. But I do like her as an actor. And I really like the show The Shield too. Did you ever watch it?
I did not, still to this day.
It's really fucking good. Chickless. In his movies, I don't like him that much. He was actually in Winning Time, the Lakers thing on HBO.
Oh, yeah?
But he was piece of shit Arbach from the Boston Celtics.
Oh, Jerry.
No, not Jerry. No, you're thinking Jerry West. Or is it Jerry Arbach? Actually, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because Jerry, no, not Jerry. Oh, my God. Dr. Buss, his first name was...
Oh, my God.
I just fucked myself.
It's Jerry Buss. Oh fuck! Are they all named Jerry?
Actually, I think it is. There's Jerry West, there's Jerry Buss, but it's Gerald or something like that.
Okay.
It's Gerald Buss, but they call him Jerry because G with Gerald.
Because all his kids are J's, right? Jeannie
I think so.
and everything.
Yeah, those fucks. They're fucking the Lakers hard. Like, I can't. I saw a thing about Jeannie. Like, I'm gonna do everything I can. Like, I make the ultimate decisions. Like, it's on me. But like
now I don't know if it's the Celtics coach. That's his
from
first name.
From what I'm reading about the Lakers and stuff. Not to go off on another thing, but like, it's just not looking good. Like, I don't get it.
Can't win it all.
You can't. No, you can't. But like, fuck me. Like, at least put in the effort. Like, this last season, they didn't. I understand they got Wessel Westbrook. I know it's Russell Westbrook, but
it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, and to me, he wasn't the best player.
What is his issue? Like, I don't. How can you be that?
He fell off
prominent,
mm-hmm.
but that much of a liability.
Well, his type of playing, which is pure athleticism. If you are stopped the way he plays, which is just fucking go to the paint and just dive and fucking go for those layups, go for that shit, and you stop him, he's not a shooter at all. And so you stop that athleticism, you stop that explosion, what's he going to do? Because he's not a known passer. I wouldn't say he's a selfish player, but like he has nothing. He's not a defensive player. He
spent the most time at OKC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would say like the first 10 years, right? Okay. OKC. And then he played in Houston. He played in he did okay in Houston, and he played somewhere else with somebody, and they played quite well. Oh no, it was in OKC with Paul George. Okay. I can't stand Paul George either. Like, I do not want that motherfucker to get a ring. There's something about him I don't like. Anyway, so this was a Hell or High Water, and Mike, I think we didn't really talk about it, but I think our next movie, because the 25th anniversary just passed, for The Fifth Element, which stars Bruce Willis.
The 25th Element.
The 25th Element. Bruce Willis. It has.
Oh, I'm sorry. We probably answered this already. You had not seen Hell or High Water.
Correct.
So you found it a little slow at some points, but you did like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
The parts with Jeff Bridges and his partner Gil, those just kind of dragged me down a little bit. And not that they weren't progressing their story, like their side of the movie.
I just love how fucking out of breath he is.
Jeff?
Walking up the hill.
Yeah. And how sweaty. I mean, you got to think, too. They're in Texas.
It's probably 110 degrees
humid, 110, 114 degrees. Like, I hate it. Like, I can take heat perfectly fine. But if it's humidity, like I'm getting sticky, suck my fucking dick.
I'm going to fucking New York in fucking August.
Weird flex.
I'm not looking forward to
You and Les?
That.
Yeah. What are you guys doing? Is it Rage?
Rage.
Okay. When are we going to Tennessee?
I don't know. When fucking ever. Let's go to Austin. It's nice and hot.
See, the thing about Austin is, I got nothing. I don't know. I mean, we could.
I love barbecue. So
I fucking love meat. Like, I'm sure if we went to either one of those places, Tennessee, because you get Memphis, or you go to Texas, like, all we're gonna eat every fucking meal is meat, and we're gonna have gout by the time we leave.
Oh yeah.
Like, our feet are gonna have gout, and we're not gonna be able to walk. We're gonna
fucking constipated. It's gonna be terrible.
I'm okay with the constipation. Like, I'll take that as long as I'm eating good meat. Like, if I'm not eating ribs every day or steak every day, I'm not gonna eat chicken. I'm gonna fuck with that. Like, a red meat.
Fucking waste your time.
Yeah. So anyway, Hell or High Water was great. Mike, you liked it too.
Yeah. So
our next episode is going to be the final episode for this season. It's going to be The Fifth Element. Bruce Willis, Chris Tucker,
Mila Jovovich,
and who was the
Gary Oldman?
Right, Gary Oldman's bad guy. But who was the
priest?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot his name.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll know it.
Anybody else that you can think of in that movie?
Debo from.
Oh
Friday.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was in a little bit. He was president. Like the captain or president. That's right. Okay,
yeah. League or whatever.
He's not alive anymore, right?
Oh yeah, I think
he did pass. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, everybody, thank you for listening. You can make movie suggestions through our website, or you can email us at spectacular@gmail.com. And The Fifth Element is available on Amazon Prime. It is available in other places, but Amazon Prime, if you have it, is free. So thank you for listening. Mike, why don't you take us away?
Let's see. Well, I did see Paul McCartney yesterday, but I assume
live.
Yeah.
Weird flex.
Yeah. But I assume
by yourself.
No, my buddy with Jose.
Oh, okay.
I assume.
Wait, what? I'm just kidding.
Doing a Beatles song as our thing is probably not a great idea.
I don't care. Fucking do it.
Oh, no.
If you can. I'm not trying to doubt your skill.
Spectacular, and we're talking about